Hello. Saying that we're live. Hello Alana. Perhaps just a message if you can hear me. The sound quality is okay. A couple of minutes before we start. We're going to use a mat today if you have one, or a blanket. A cushion as well, perhaps for some extra comfort. It's going to start in a seated position today, so that could be however you feel comfortable. That seated position could be with your legs crossed, could be with the legs in front of you. Tuning into ease this morning as we just get ourselves nice and comfortable for this 30-minute exploration this morning. A couple more people joining us, so for those that didn't hear, we're just having a seat. You may have a yoga mat ready with a cushion and a blanket. If not, just the mat, the floor will also do. Just finding yourself a comfortable seat. Welcome everyone this morning. My name is Bethan. This morning we're just going to journey on a 30-minute exploration of our breath and gentle movement as we nourish the senses in our body. We can quite often think of ourselves as having the 5 senses. Some people say there's 7. There's even been research done around the 12 senses. And our senses are really those receptors to allow us to explore this world. They allow us to make sense of this world. And in the first 7 years of our life, we really spend that time, our bodies really spend that time taking those information from the senses around us and allowing us to form our physical body, our relationship with the world. So today is a gentle invitation for us to nourish those senses, to give them some love. So taking a comfortable seat, as I say, that could be cross-legged, that could be the legs apart, however that looks for you today. Knowing that everything is an invitation this morning, choosing to flow in and tune in and out of my breath. And sorry, my voice. So starting to tune in to the natural breath here. As we start to settle, perhaps the senses, start to notice some extra sound. Perhaps a bird outside or a car in the street. Allowing our senses to be awakened. Invitation to gently bring the hands onto the body. Perhaps that's to the heart and to the belly. Taking an inhalation and exhalation here through the nose. Perhaps you're softening the gaze or closing the eyes to really allow you to notice the sensations of the breath as it gently passes through the nose, down the body, inhaling and exhaling. Softening the shoulders, gently releasing any tension in the jaw. Allowing the tongue to fall from the roof of your mouth. Exploring the breath and perhaps noticing the textures on your top, on your t-shirt, perhaps if your hands are placed on the body. Allowing the tummy to rise and fall. Welcoming yourself to the breath this morning. Welcoming yourself exactly as you are. A couple more inhalations and exhalations here, just gently inviting that deeper, slower breath through the body. Letting out any sighs or noises. Just curiously listening here, observing. A couple more breaths here. Allowing that gaze to be softened or the eyes to be closed. Connecting for a moment to the sense of our sight, our eyes. Noticing perhaps how the eyes are feeling this morning. Perhaps you've not been awake for too long. Perhaps your morning's been already quite a few hours. It's bringing that gentle awareness to the eyes. %70 of our sensory information is captured through the eyes. Especially during these times, we may have found ourselves on more technology than usual. We're ironically using technology now for this practice. So an invitation just to take that gaze away from perhaps the screen. Softening that gaze, and when things are close up to our gaze, we're often contracting the eyes. Often in a more tense state, the closer that we may have our device to us perhaps, or something that we're reading. Invitation just to expand that gaze perhaps in front of you. Perhaps you're close to a window. Allowing that gaze to expand. It's no coincidence that when we stargaze or look at an expansive space, we start to feel relaxed. Our nervous system settles. For a couple of moments, inviting that expansive gaze into this exploration this morning. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing the breath to flow through the body. Softening the jaw, allowing that eye gaze to be soft as you wander. That drishti spot, as it's called in yoga, that soft gaze. That connection with the eyes that allows us to connect with others. Inhaling and exhaling. Gently allowing the hands to fall by the sides, perhaps if they're not already here. Taking a moment to soften that gaze, so perhaps closing the eyes or allowing the gaze to be soft as we invite that sensation of touch. As our hands fall by our sides, perhaps you are sat on a rug this morning. Perhaps this is your opportunity to acknowledge the earth that you're on, the land joining you here from central Aranda country and in Bontua in Alice Springs. Using that breath as you take in those sensory impressions through the hands, travelling up through the arms and allowing the breath to ground you here. Noticing any textures perhaps of your hands as they meet the surface of where you're meeting your hands. Noticing perhaps the temperature here. Noticing perhaps your seat bones, the texture of the ground that you're sat on. Taking a couple of breaths here as you curiously observe what you can touch, what you can feel. Again, allowing those shoulders to soften and the breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling. We're gently going to inhale and invite the shoulders to come up to the ears. Noticing the fingertips perhaps on the surface below you and exhaling down. So we're just going to circle the shoulders here. Inhaling and exhaling. Just inviting perhaps a slower exploration than you would normally. Noticing what that slowness feels like in the body perhaps. And then when you're ready, in your own time, no rush, perhaps the eyes are softened, the gaze is closed as we take the circles the other way. And a couple more moments here just for you to move to your own rhythm, however that looks, moving to the rhythm of your own unique breath, inhaling and exhaling. Taking a gentle pause here when you're ready, just observing. Noticing perhaps any sensations in the body, any fluidity in the shoulders, tingling, movement of energy, or maybe not. Just taking that pause to notice. And gently going to invite the ear to the shoulder, either side. Again, softening that drishti, that gaze, as you inhale and exhale. Allowing that tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Allowing the top body to be soft here as you explore the shoulder movement, the neck movement, releasing any tension, perhaps inviting the chin to the chest, and then perhaps circling. So we're going to do this for about a minute here. You can choose to follow my voice as I gently circle my neck, being kind to any sensations of tension, perhaps some fizzing here as we gently connect to our neck. Perhaps you're just allowing this next minute or so to gently explore this area yourself. Can you be kind with any tension perhaps you may feel in this area? Can you notice what it feels like to guide the attention of softness to any tension or unease that you may feel? Inhaling and exhaling, allowing the breath to gently flow through the body. Perhaps the eyes are closed or the gaze is softened, just to allow you to connect a little more, to listen. And when you're ready, no rush at all. Allowing your head to gently come back to center. Allowing that gaze to still be softened. And taking that sacred pause. Just listening here. Noticing any change of sensation perhaps in the body or in the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, we're gently just going to bring our awareness to our hands. Do something here, sometimes you may know it as palming, and we're going to bring some perhaps gentle circle movements to our hands, noticing the texture. We're gently going to create some energy here, some friction, some prana as we gently rub our hands together, starting off slowly and then increasing the movement to generate that energy, that heat. When you're ready, we're going to take the palms of our hands and bring them to our eyes, allowing the palms to cover the eyes and the fingertips to rest on the forehead. Gently going to breathe here. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing the heat, the energy to soften around the cells of your eyes. Inhaling and exhaling, a couple more breaths here. Allowing the eyes to receive this nourishment, this touch. We're going to do this a couple of times. Perhaps your movement's a little different than mine. Again, there's no wrong or right here as you just explore what feels good for you in this moment. And gently, when you're ready, inviting that touch back to the eyes, palms to eyes, fingertips to the forehead, and breathing here. Allowing us to invite that softness to our eyes. One more time here as we inhale and exhale. Gently allowing the hands to come by your side. And taking that pause. When you're ready, perhaps gently opening the gaze. Taking that gaze a little further to that more expansive view. Can you notice perhaps a change in sensations around the eyes? Can you allow the shoulders to soften? Inhaling and exhaling, we're gently just going to invite the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, allowing the hand to fall by your side. We're going to inhale to lengthen and exhale, just gently taking the body over to one side, feeling that stretch through the side body. Inhaling to lengthen, meaning both hands up into the sky, and exhaling to take the hand to the other side. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling, stretching through the side body. Just going to follow our breath here for a couple of explorations as we inhale, allowing the body to lengthen, and exhale, softening over to the other side. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to soften, feeling that stretch in the side body. Grounding the hands down to the floor, noticing the textures as your hands meet from side to side. A couple more here, following your own rhythm. Gently just going to make my way over to my mat, or perhaps your blanket that we set up. Just coming onto all fours when you're ready. No rush, however you arrive here. Allowing our hands and knees to be hip distance apart, and just feeling that texture of the mat or the rug below your hands. And we're gently going to feel the impressions of the hands as we start to gently invite some stretch to the wrists. Perhaps you can invite the fingertips towards the knees and gently sit back on the hips. Perhaps you're exploring some weight onto the wrist with the hip, making a fist movement here. So we're just going to explore and add some gentle stretch to the wrist. And then we're gently going to come back into all fours. Perhaps you're staying with this exploration for a little longer as you're exploring the textures within the wrist, within the body, and inviting some gentle cat-cow movements as you inhale and exhale. Inhaling, allowing the tailbone to come to the sky, bringing that softened gaze with you, and exhaling, rounding through the shoulders, taking the gaze to the belly button. A couple more here, perhaps adding in some circles to the hips. Perhaps staying with the cat-cow movements. Inhaling and exhaling. When you're ready, we're gently going to bring our toes to the mat, sending our hips to the sky, coming into a downward facing dog this morning. Allowing for a bend in the knees, pedaling out the feet, inviting that movement, that fluidity to the legs, allowing the head to soften, being in line with the neck here. When you're ready, no rush, perhaps staying in movement here or finding stillness. The knees can be bent, feet can be fully on the floor. Inhaling and exhaling, noticing that texture beneath the hands, the feet. And gently walking the hands towards the feet, having a bend in the knee here. Inhaling and just gently allowing the hands to come to one side, knees to be bent. Exploring the texture of the ground beneath you with the fingertips. And then gently bringing the fingertips to the feet, the knees. Walking up slowly, allowing the head to be soft here, allowing the shoulders and then the head to rise last. And just coming to standing. Noticing the textures of the ground and the earth beneath you. Allowing the toes to be spread and feeling the connection of the ground and the soles of the feet. Supporting, allowing the knees to be soft. Noticing your hips, your spine, your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. We're gently going to inhale and sweep the arms up to our heart center. Exhaling, gently pushing through and rounding through the spine. Inhaling, gently reaching up to the sky. Taking a gentle back bend here perhaps, and then exhaling, allowing the hands to float by your side. Inhaling and exhaling. Choosing to follow my guide or follow your own rhythm. Exhaling. Inhaling. Noticing the sensations perhaps in the breath. Noticing the air perhaps as it touches the arms as you move. Noticing the space, the movement as you explore today. Allowing that gaze, that drishti to be softened or the eyes to be closed. A couple more explorations here as we invite this gentle movement through the body. Inviting that breath through every cell from the toes to the fingertips. A couple more explorations here and then allowing the hands to come by your side. Perhaps you're inviting a connection again with the heart and the belly here. Perhaps you're just gently listening to the breath. As we take that pause to inhale and exhale. Staying with this breath, can you notice the surface of the feet? Can you notice a change of sensation in the body? start to bring a close to today's practice, can you invite this curiosity of the senses in some part of your day today? Can you allow the gaze to be expansive? Can you allow yourself that break from the screen to invite this curiosity in? Gently just going to soften the hips as we invite some breath, some prana through the body. We're gently bringing our hands to gently tap directly behind the belly button, moving from the hips almost effortlessly. And then slowing this movement down. Taking a pause here, just noticing. Inhaling and exhaling. So grateful for you to join me today in this senses exploration. It really can be as long or as short as you'd like to make it. So yeah, lovely to have you here with me in Embodied in Alice Springs this morning. I hope you have a nourishing rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you.